I love creating mixes, and I always find the best mixes I ever make, they're done with an intention. For instance, I often make mixes in preparation of events that I'm playing, but my process always remains the same. Let's say I'm playing for an event. I research the event, I'm making sure that I've got the right kind of music. Then I put all these songs into a playlist and I begin the process of trying to find songs that work well together. Now I can do that by looking at keys, I preview the tracks to try and find the right energy, and I can even use discovery mode to try and find songs that work well together as well if I want to build on that set. Now once I've got a loose structure, I then hit the decks to practice my transitions. And once I've got something, I like to record myself, as by playing the whole set, it puts a little bit of pressure on me. And if I'm playing the set in full, it helps me to gauge the energy and the overall feel of the set. But my first recording is always for my ears only. I'm recording with the goal of listening back and trying to find ways that I can improve on it. So for instance, maybe the energy dropped off, or something didn't feel quite right, or maybe some transitions just sounded messy. Now, I never give myself a hard time for this, as the mistakes are part of the process and they show me where I can do better. And more often than not, it means getting more tracks so the set flows smoothly. Now, I remember last year, right, I was playing this festival in Australia and I was super nervous about it. So I ended up doing that process of getting tracks, ordering them, practicing the transitions, then recording myself to find ways to improve it. And I did that process 7 times. That means I made 7 mixes before I was happy with my final mix. And when I played that set live, man, it went fucking off. Not only because I'd practiced it every which way, but by doing so, I knew all the tracks and transitions back to front. And this gave me the confidence to execute a really killer set. So if you want to feel confident behind the decks, the key is repeated actions. And this process of preparing, practicing, and recording will be what gets you club ready. So if you want to prepare killer sets, this is what you need to do. Number 1, man, and this is the most important thing, set a goal or an intention for the mix. So are you making the mix just for yourself? Or maybe it's a love letter to your partner filled with all their favorite songs. Maybe it's a promo mix to send to a club promoter. Or perhaps you're making mixes every few weeks and you're treating them like a diary entry, capturing where you're at in your life right now and what you're listening to. The good thing about having a clear intention is that it gives you direction. I found in DJing and in life, the moment you set an intention and get clear on what you want, you start noticing the right things. The right track jumps out at you. The right transitions start to make sense and they start coming together. You're no longer second guessing every choice, and it helps you choose better tracks, control the energy more intentionally, and stay focused on the bigger picture. Without a goal, you're just mixing songs. With a goal, man, you're putting together a story. It's like flow. It's like, whoa. Number 2, I suggest you start big. So if you want to build a 20-track set, man, I'll usually pull from 40 or 50 tracks, because if you only grab 20, man, you've got no flexibility. So the more tracks you've got, the more options you've got. In short, not everything makes the final cut, but at least you've got options. Number 3, how you start your set depends on your time slot and your goal. So if you're playing an early set, or let's say you're imagining yourself playing somewhere chill, you might start with something atmospheric or even something slightly minimal. But if you're playing a headline, man, I reckon come out strong and start with something immediately cool or even recognizable. Now, here's how I opened a set recently. This went well. So this is like an example of how I might start. Okay, just notice here for a second, if I'm starting a set, I don't think I'd start from the first beat if there's a minute intro and just play a beat. Maybe it's great to just go grab where the song kicks in. So in this case, what I did, I started from here in the breakdown, just played the main part of the song. And I'm only playing a minute of this song before replacing the drop and taking it to the vibe that I wanted. This transition was in the replacing the drop section too.
Words like violence break the silence, come crashing into my little world. Painful to me, pierce right through me. Can't you understand? Oh, my little girl. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. Words are very
Excellent. And I also love doing that one because I love that Enjoy the Silence song. So it puts me in a good state too. So I can hit the ground running like in a good vibe, and I can share that good vibe. Number 4, ask yourself, how are you going to shape the energy for your set? For instance, some DJs like the ramp and others like the wave. Now the ramp is where you steadily build the energy up over the entire course of the set, slowly getting more and more intense as you go. As the wave is where you flow between different feels and energies. So you might take it up before bringing it back down and then back up again. Now I love the wave personally, and I remember recently I was playing at a party and I said to my mates, listen, I go, if you hear me bring the energy back down, you can know that I'm setting up a big moment, like I'm going to bring in something big. And honestly, I love doing that, like pulling it back before building it back up. And once up, I may even maintain that energy for a bit before bringing it back down. And that keeps my sets dynamic and engaging, as if you're going like banger after banger after banger, the crowd can get tired. Number 5, you can also shape the set through dropping in familiar tracks or well-known anthems and classics. Now, this doesn't mean you have to go full-on commercial, yet I found when playing live, people love familiarity. It really lifts the energy on the dance floor. Number 6, as for finding tracks that go well together, key matters, but energy matters more. So 100% look at the keys, but I also suggest previewing each track and checking if you feel the energies match. Now 2 tracks can be in a perfect key and still feel completely wrong energy-wise. So always ask, does this feel right after the previous track? And when you test them, aim for goosebumps, not mediocrity. Number 7, I want you to control the energy of the set, not only through the tracks you play, but also how much of each track you play and how you transition between tracks. So for instance, if the second half of a track is stronger than the first, you can just play the second half. In short, quick mixes increases energy and long blends smooth and balance things out. Aggressive drop swaps or double drops spike tension, as extended layering builds atmosphere. The way you transition is just as important as what you transition into. But keep in mind, most DJs, right, they only ever mix in after the chorus, and the majority of DJs only mix on the outro. So if you can start mixing up your transitions in a mindful and practical way, you're going to be the standout DJ every single time you play. So when I build a set, I start by getting clear on my intention. So why am I building this set? And I try to imagine how the set is going to make me and other people feel. Perhaps I could even imagine my friends coming up to me after my set saying, man, that set was fucking amazing, you know? Or perhaps you've done something and you imagine them saying, man, I can't imagine you being that good. Like, it's like, wow, man. And here's the thing, right? With manifesting, they say, if the idea exists in you, like if you're excited about DJing, man, it's already a part of you. All you need to do is get out of your own way. And the best way to do that isn't by sitting around thinking about it anymore. Like once we've got the vision, we need to take action. That means, right, stop thinking about it right now and just start doing it right now. Honestly, building sets is fun. And if you're struggling with it, I bet I know why. You're in your first 20 minutes of trying. And what I mean by that is you can't just sit down and expect to be in a flow state straight away. It takes about 20 minutes to even find flow. And I find when I sit down to build a set, in the first 20 minutes, man, I can't do anything right. But if I stick to it, after 20 minutes, I get into a bit of a flow. And from there, I can generally do nothing wrong. Like it all starts coming together. So commit now to sitting down for 1 hour with 0 distractions. Put together a playlist full of tracks you love. But if you're struggling to get started, even with that, man, you got to check out my new follow along playlist and transitions course. These days, when I listen to DJs play, many of them are limited to 1 or 2 transitions, and they play like that for their entire set. The vision for my new course is to teach you several transitions, and after every transition, I provide a playlist for you to practice to lock in everything we just learned. By the course's end, you would have mastered 7 transitions, and I've got like about 10 curated playlists covering everything from single genre sets to these multi-genre flowing masterpieces. But more importantly, you're going to know how to craft sets where you control the energy, not just through the track selection, but through how much of each track you play and how you transition between tracks. I'm genuinely proud of this course because it bridges the gap for DJs wanting to learn and wanting to lock everything in, to playing confidently, man. These pro level sets that, man, it's going to blow you away. Anyway, this is a free bonus within my complete package, and I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check it out. Anyway, man, thank you so much for supporting what I do. I genuinely love building these courses and creating this free content for you. But more importantly, man, I really love seeing your feedback and watching so many of you grow in confidence behind the decks. It gives me real purpose being able to pass the torch, share my experience, and help you to experience the joys of being a DJ. DJing really is the best. It's such a great way to connect with music. Anyway, let's wrap this up, okay? So, to just a quick overview. Okay, set an intention for your mix. Maybe it's to create a mix for you or your girlfriend, or even in prep for a show. Then build a playlist of tracks that match that intention. Experiment with finding tracks that work well together and then put them into a loose order, most likely inside your DJ software. Practice your transitions and then record yourself with the goal of listening back and finding ways you can improve the mix. And then repeat those steps, that process, okay, until you have a set that you're proud of. So never shy away from mistakes. Own them, learn from them, and grow from them. Man, you've got this. I believe in you. Yeah, check out the course, sub now, all the things. But yeah, hopefully you got a bit from this video. Okay, thanks guys. See ya.